A single father, who is also a CEO, mistakenly contacts the incorrect emergency babysitter. The woman who steps through the door is the one he has long anticipated. The boardroom lights dimmed intermittently as the tempest outside swept across the horizon. Aidan Walker stood at the head of a long glass table, sleeves rolled up, his voice sharp as he gestured toward the projection screen. He found himself deep in the throes of finalizing a significant acquisition deal, a process that had consumed months of intricate negotiation. In an instant, his phone vibrated against the surface of the table. The number belonged to the nanny. With a furrowed brow, he offered a quick nod of apology and made his way into the hallway. "What is it, Marlene?" A frantic voice echoed through the speaker. "Mr. Walker, I regret to inform you that I won't be able to reach Mia this evening. My vehicle has malfunctioned, and I am unable to reach the city." Aidan pressed his fingers against the bridge of his nose. "Are you really bringing this up at this moment? My daughter is unwell, and I still have an hour remaining in this meeting. I have already reached out to your assistant. She mentioned that she would organize a substitute." He concluded the call, inhaled deeply, and re-entered the meeting room. After providing guidance to his VP, he proceeded to review his messages. A solitary message from his assistant illuminated his screen. "I've secured an emergency sitter. Lucy's sister is en route as we speak." He slipped the phone into his pocket and exited the office, entering the elevator with the composed demeanor of someone accustomed to managing constant chaos. He reached his penthouse 20 minutes later, relaxed his tie, and stepped into the warm ambience of the apartment. Mia nestled on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, her cheeks warm with fever, holding tightly to her beloved stuffed rabbit. She gazed up at him with heavy eyelids. "Father?" He sank to his knees beside her, gently sweeping the hair away from her forehead. "I have arrived, darling. Rest assured, brighter days are on the horizon." The chime of the doorbell echoed through the air. He stood tall and approached the door, anticipating the familiar, polished demeanor of one of Lucy's associates. Instead, a woman stood there, soaked from the rain, her hair gathered into a haphazard bun, clutching a small tote bag and dressed in a navy blue cardigan that seemed more appropriate for a classroom than an urgent nanny situation. She gazed up at him, clearing droplets from her eyelashes. "Hello, well. My name is Lily Harper. I received a message indicating that someone was in urgent need of a babysitter." Aidan scowled. "Are you Lucy's sister?" She inclined her head. "Is that you, Lucy?" "Actually, I believe. This might have been an error." A lengthy silence ensued. Then Mia coughed softly behind him, a frail sound that tightened his chest with concern. He swung the door open wider. "Whether it was an error or not, I require assistance at this moment. Would you consider staying? Only for this evening." Lily paused for a moment, then gave a slight nod. "Absolutely." In just a few moments, she had hung her coat, slipped off her shoes, and was kneeling next to Mia on the couch, her voice gentle and flowing as she engaged with the little girl. She felt her forehead with a tender hand, assisted her in taking small sips of water, and softly shared tales while soothingly massaging her back. Aidan lingered in the hallway, taken aback. When he came back with the fever medication, Mia was already asleep, nestled against Lily's side. He passed the medicine with a soft demeanor. "Your expertise is quite evident." Lily beamed, her gaze fixed elsewhere. "I once worked as a preschool educator. I find myself." Pausing for a moment. Aidan refrained from questioning the reason. He observed as Lily tenderly adjusted Mia onto a pillow and tucked the blanket up to her chin. In the kitchen, Lily prepared tea she discovered in the cabinet, while Aidan remained at the counter, pondering how this unfamiliar person had managed to soothe his daughter more quickly than anyone else ever could. Lily expressed her apologies once more. "I genuinely believed the message came from a family I had babysat for many years back. I simply arrived." He shook his head in disbelief. "Your presence was felt at the crucial moment. They lingered in quietude for a moment, then Lily cast her gaze toward the hallway where Mia lay in slumber. She is an extraordinary young lady. Clearly, you're on the right track. Aiden exhaled, the sound resonating with a sense of relief. I give it my best effort. There are days when it seems as though I am merely persevering. Many share that experience with you. He studied her intently, observing the weary hint in her gentle gaze. You appear to excel in this area. Are you certain you aren't still in the role of a teacher? She offered a subtle smile. It's quite intricate. He refrained from pressing. Yet there was something about her presence, her unwavering steadiness, that disturbed the part of him that had grown accustomed to thriving in solitude. As the rain persisted in its rhythmic dance against the windows, Aiden Walker, the head of Walker and Company, came to a profound realization. For the first time in years, someone had entered his life and filled the void that had long lingered. The apartment exuded a serene stillness, the gentle murmur of the city below softened by the embrace of double-paned glass. Lily lingered in the gently illuminated hallway, observing Mia as she slumbered serenely on the spacious couch, her small form nestled like a comma beneath the cozy, thick-knit blanket. The fever had diminished a bit. Her cheeks, while still flushed, had lost their fiery heat. Aiden materialized next to Lily, holding 2 steaming mugs of tea. Lily whispered, I believe she's out for the night. He offered her a cup. Thanks to you, she embraced it, cradling her hands in warmth. She simply required an attentive ear, and perhaps a touch of ginger tea. Aiden let out a soft, fleeting chuckle. I ought to bring you on board immediately. Lily arched an eyebrow. That would certainly be an intriguing proposition, especially since my arrival here was purely accidental. He stated it plainly, you arrived when everyone else was absent. They positioned themselves at either end of the expansive leather sofa in the living room. The city lights sprawled before them, shimmering and beyond reach. Aiden reclined, easing the tension in his shoulders. Lily took a delicate sip of her tea, her gaze drifting from the sprawling skyline to the collection of photo frames adorning the console table. One captured Aiden with a younger Mia, while another showcased a woman with bright eyes and a warm, gentle smile. Lily whispered, she was beautiful. Aiden turned his attention to where she was looking. His voice dropped to a whisper. She encompassed it all. A prolonged hush ensued. Lily expressed her apologies. She left us 2 years ago, he said, avoiding the gaze of the picture. Oncology. It happened quickly. Excessively swift. Lily remained silent. She simply nodded, allowing the gravity of the moment to unfold organically. Aiden examined the tea cradled in his hands. Since that time, it has been solely Mia and me. Nannies are transient figures in our lives. Timetables shift. Life continues its relentless march, even as you seek to find your breath once more. Lily paid attention. Truly attentive. Not as a mere observer, but as one who grasped the pain woven into each phrase. Do you receive assistance? Relatives? She inquired. Not exactly. My parents reside on the opposite side of the country. Her guardians. His voice faded into silence. The situation is intricate. Both of them cast a fleeting look at Mia, who released a soft sigh in her slumber. Lily whispered, shoes strong. Aiden gave a slight nod. On certain days, Lily wore a smile that seemed to hold more strength than my own. After a moment of pause, he finally spoke, you're doing a good job. He gazed at her, taken aback. Our acquaintance spans less than 3 hours. 3 hours is ample time to witness the way you gazed at her in her moments of tears. Long enough to realize the world halts when she calls for you. Aiden's jaw tightened, a flicker of emotion dancing behind his calm gaze. Lily had a certain calmness about her, a reassuring presence that allowed for conversation without the pressure to resolve every issue. He remarked, subtly steering the conversation in a new direction. Why isn't there someone like you teaching a room full of children? Lily paused, uncertainty flickering in her eyes. A student of mine started to speak, her fingers gripping her mug a little tighter. He sustained an injury. It was an unfortunate incident, yet I found it impossible to absolve myself of guilt, despite the fact that no one else seemed to hold me accountable. I stepped away for a while, then extended that break, and ultimately chose not to return. Aiden remained silent. He simply nodded with a measured pace. I think, Lily said after a long pause, I've forgotten how to be around children without feeling afraid. He inclined his head ever so slightly. You appeared quite fearless this evening. She offered a subtle smile. Mia simplified everything. They both lapsed into silence once more, not in discomfort, but in that peculiar moment where two unfamiliar souls begin to feel a touch less foreign. At last, Aiden rose to his feet. The guest room is available for you to use. It's located further down the corridor. Mia finds comfort in the presence of others while she sleeps, and I have faith in you. Lily's eyes fluttered open. Are you certain? He offered her a weary yet genuine nod. I've been uncertain about a lot of things recently, but this seems to resonate with me. She trailed behind him into the hallway, stopping briefly to cast a look at the girl peacefully resting on the couch. Aiden gazed at her. Thank you, Lily, for this evening. Her lips curved into a smile. I appreciate your generosity in allowing me to stay. As the door to the guest room clicked shut behind her, Aiden lingered for a moment, gazing at the empty space she had just occupied. An unfamiliar sensation pulled at him, akin to the onset of a question he lacked the bravery to voice. Yet, down the corridor, an unfamiliar presence was transforming his existence from a weight to a sanctuary. The following morning dawned softly, as rays of sunlight filtered through the partially drawn curtains. Aiden, clad in a crisp suit, paced the kitchen, phone pressed to his ear, as he poured cereal into a bowl. Mia perched at the counter in her pajamas, her feet swinging lightly as she absent-mindedly toyed with her spoon. Across from her, Lily stood in the doorway, clad in her own attire, casual jeans, a cozy gray sweater, and her hair casually pulled back. Good morning, she spoke softly. Mia's expression brightened. Is Miss Lily here? Aiden turned, taken aback by the sudden surge of enthusiasm from his typically quiet daughter. It seems that someone is quite pleased to have your presence. Lily approached with a warm smile. How is the fever doing? Gone, Mia declared with a sense of pride. I have a craving for pancakes. Aiden lifted an eyebrow in curiosity. Last night, you hardly touched your toast. Lily chuckled, expressing her change of heart. Would it be alright if I create something for her? I possess a certain mastery when it comes to pancakes. Aiden paused for a moment, then moved to the side. Feel free to take the floor. In mere moments, the kitchen was enveloped in the warm aroma of vanilla and cinnamon. Mia chuckled softly as Lily expertly flipped the pancakes, artfully arranging blueberries into star shapes. I had no idea we had blueberries, Aiden murmured. Lily replied with a playful glance, I found them behind a wall of protein bars. He perched at the counter, observing as Mia eagerly consumed her breakfast. He hadn't witnessed his daughter this lively in weeks, not even around family, and certainly not with hired caregivers. Once the dishes were cleared away, Lily faced Aiden. If you require assistance again today, I'm available. Do you have any other plans? She gave a slight shrug. That's no longer the case. Aiden observed her intently for a brief moment. The proposal lacked professionalism, it felt oddly personal in nature. She was selecting them. He expressed his gratitude for that. What began as just another day evolved into 3, then a week. Lily seamlessly integrated into their daily routine. She guided Mia to the park, showed her the art of folding paper swans, and assisted her in practicing her letters with glitter pens and an abundance of stickers. Aiden returned each evening to the sound of laughter resonating through the corridor and tales he had yet to encounter, tales that Mia had kept to herself, unwilling to share with anyone else. On a balmy Saturday afternoon, Aidan extended an invitation to Lily to accompany them to the farmer's market. As they strolled past vibrant booths filled with fresh flowers and jars of homemade jams, Mia clasped Lily's hand, both captivated by the enchanting puppet show before them. They purchased lemonade and indulged in a colossal cinnamon roll, with Mia playfully insisting on feeding them in turns, bite by bite. It had an unsettling authenticity, reminiscent of a genuine family. Later at the park, a blanket was spread beneath the shade of a tree. Lily nestled against the sturdy trunk, her voice weaving through the pages of a storybook, as Mia cozied up beside her, lost in the magic of the tale. Aidan observed them from the picnic basket, his heart contorting with a mix of beauty and fear. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Mia rested her head on Lily's lap and murmured softly. Lily cast her gaze downward, taken aback. "Could you repeat that, darling?" Mia said again, her voice rising slightly. "Would you consider being my new mother figure?" The phrases lingered in the atmosphere, as fragile as a gossamer strand. Lily's eyes brimmed with emotion as her fingers gently caressed Mia's hair. She cast a quick look at Aidan, who stood utterly still. He remained silent, unable to utter a word. Lily offered a gentle smile and replied, "That's quite a profound question, Mia. Let's continue to enjoy our time together, shall we?" Mia nodded, satisfied, and soon drifted off to sleep right there in her lap. Aidan let out a breath, moving over silently. He remained silent beside them, observing the two individuals who had subtly and entirely transformed his existence. He finally spoke, revealing that she had never expressed anything like that to anyone else before. Lily confessed that she was at a loss for words. "Your words were perfectly chosen." They lingered in quietude, a stillness that had evolved beyond mere acquaintances sharing a moment. Rather, it seemed to signal the start of an unspoken journey they both hesitated to define. Yet, an undeniable change had occurred, and they both recognized that this was no longer a fleeting moment. The next week unfolded in a haze of well-known patterns. Morning meals brimming with joy, afternoons spent in the library, and evenings nestled with tales. From the outside, it appeared to be a perfect scene of joy. Yet, a transformation had taken place within Aidan, and Lily sensed it keenly. He had become more subdued, exhibiting a greater sense of restraint. He continued to smile as Mia held onto Lily's hand or eagerly displayed a drawing they had created together. Yet, there was an unmistakable detachment in his eyes. Something just beyond her grasp. One evening, as Mia drifted into slumber after a bustling afternoon at the aquarium, Aidan entered the living room where Lily was seated, meticulously organizing colored pencils while gentle melodies floated through the air. He cleared his throat, preparing to speak. "The meal is nearly prepared. If you'd like, you're more than welcome to stay." She lifted her gaze and offered a smile. "I would appreciate that." Yet, there was an element in his tone that caused her to pause. As they lingered at the table, with Mia peacefully resting in her room, an unusual weight hung in the air between them. Lily softly nudged her half-finished plate away and inquired, "Is everything all right, Aidan?" He took his time before responding. He filled a glass with water, gazed into it, and then remarked, "This, whatever it is we've created, is beginning to feel like more than I anticipated." Lily felt a sudden flutter in her chest. "Is that really an issue?" she inquired softly. He shook his head in disbelief. "No, but the situation is intricate." She nodded with deliberation, her fingers intertwining gracefully on the table. "Fear grips you." "I'm filled with fear," he admitted candidly, "about allowing you to get close, about Mia forming a bond, about the possibility of losing it all once more." Her gaze became gentle. "Aidan, my intention was never to enter your life and take the place of anyone." "You didn't," he said swiftly. "However, that doesn't imply I possess the skills to accomplish this. I experienced a profound loss, and for the past 2 years, I've dedicated myself to ensuring that Mia never has to endure such heartache again." Lily spoke softly, "You're attempting to shield her. Perhaps safeguarding her involves keeping everyone at a distance." Lily's throat tightened, and I felt it too. He remained silent. The stillness served as a unique affirmation. Lily rose gradually, collecting her bag. "I believe it's time for me to leave, Lily," he started. Yet, she offered him a faint, melancholic smile. "No need for an explanation, I get it. You're not prepared." She approached the front door, hesitated, then glanced back one final time. "When I arrived at your door that night, I had no intention of seeking a family. Yet, in some way, you transformed into one. And I find it difficult to step away from that without feeling the pain." She departed before he had the chance to respond. The apartment seemed to chill in her absence. The following morning, Mia awoke to discover that Lily's shoes had vanished from the hallway. She scanned the room in bewilderment, her gaze landing on a tiny, creased note resting on the table in the playroom. With delicate precision, her small fingers gradually pried it open. "Your courage and kindness shine brightly, and my care for you will remain unwavering. Affectionately, Miss Lily." Mia held the note tightly against her heart, tears streaming down her face. As Aiden burst through the door, she glanced up, her eyes brimming with tears, wide and expressive. "Did Miss Lily depart due to my actions?" Aiden sank to his knees beside her, enveloping her in his embrace. "Absolutely not, darling. Her departure was due to my actions." For the first time in ages, a painful and undeniable truth dawned on him. He had constructed barriers so towering around his heart that not even love could penetrate their depths. And now, he had distanced himself from the one individual who had restored his faith in the possibility of feeling once more. Time flowed by. Then a week passed. The apartment felt more serene. Excessively silent. Mia ceased her inquiries about Lily following the third night. Yet she held the tiny note close, as if it were a cherished charm, gripping it tightly in her delicate hands whenever she believed no one was observing. Aiden observed her, a gnawing guilt consuming him like corrosion. He continued to rise early, prepare her lunch, take her to preschool, and head back to his meetings as if nothing was different, yet everything had shifted. One afternoon, following a particularly dull meeting, Aiden found himself at his desk, gazing at a coffee cup that Lily had once placed on the shelf. A modest ceramic piece adorned with delicate sunflowers. She mentioned it evoked a sense of warmth. There was a certain something she longed for. His chest constricted. He whispered to himself, "I made a mistake." In a moment of instinct, he retrieved his phone and flicked through the endless list of contacts until he landed on a number that felt all too familiar. It wasn't Lily's, she had never offered it. However, he believed he had arranged for the sitter's service weeks prior. This time, he inquired straightforwardly, "Do you know where Lily Harper is?" A silence lingered on the other end. Then a tentative voice remarked, "She lends her time at Maple and Bloom Books downtown, part-time. Occasionally, she engages with children in that setting." That evening, Aiden lingered outside the quaint bookstore nestled between a bakery and a flower shop, his heart racing with anticipation. From the vantage of the front window, he caught sight of her. Lily nestled into the reading circle, her legs crossed comfortably on the rug, encircled by a lively group of children. Her eyes glimmered with delight as she immersed herself in the pages of a vividly illustrated book. Her voice was vibrant and brimming with energy. She chuckled, waving her arms animatedly, and the children erupted in laughter. Aiden found himself completely immobilized. She appeared so herself. Awake in a manner she hadn't experienced upon her departure. As the reading session drew to a close, she stood up, embracing a small girl in farewell before gathering the strewn books. As she pivoted to face the front of the store, her gaze locked with his through the glass. She stood still. Aiden entered the room with a deliberate slowness, his hands tucked away in the pockets of his coat. "Greetings," he murmured gently. Lily appeared hesitant, protective. "Hello. I didn't come here to ask you to return," he stated. She tilted her head and simply expressed her gratitude, saying thank you. "What for?" For providing me with something I was unable to. For providing me with something I never realized I was missing. Lily averted her eyes. It was evident that you weren't prepared. He confessed that he wasn't. Yet, your absence has shown me that I may never be prepared if I continue to dwell in fear. She folded her arms, yet her expression grew gentler. Fear exists, Aiden, but so does love. He edged forward, retrieving an item from his pocket. A bracelet adorned with vibrant plastic beads, arranged in an irregular pattern, featuring the letters MIA prominently at its center. He said she created this for you the night you departed. She concealed it beneath her pillow. This morning, I discovered it. Lily's fingers quivered as she extended her hand and grasped it. He expressed that she longs for your presence. We both share that sentiment. Lily whispered, I miss her too. After a lengthy silence, I find myself missing you. Aiden's eyes sparkled with a captivating light. Lily, I'm not interested in putting on a facade that I have all the answers. However, I am aware of this. When you departed, the atmosphere shifted. Void. He let out a slow breath, his voice wavering slightly, revealing the vulnerability beneath the facade of the CEO. I wish to give it a go. Together with you. Accompanied by MIA. As a unit. There are no barriers. There's no place to conceal oneself. She gazed upward, a glimmer of hope illuminating her eyes like the first light of day. I can't guarantee that fear won't creep in, she remarked. I don't seek perfection, he responded. I simply desire authenticity. She smiled then, gentle and unwavering, and moved into his embrace. As he embraced her, the bracelet nestled between their hands, Aiden realized he had been granted a new opportunity. And this time, he was determined to hold on tight. Lily hesitated to move back in, not immediately. Yet she began to appear once more, softly, akin to a tune gradually re-emerging in a neglected composition. She would arrive in the mornings before preschool, assisting MIA in selecting her intentionally mismatched socks, and tucking little handwritten notes into her lunchbox. At times, they would express sentiments such as, embrace courage today, or keep in mind, the light of day begins with you. MIA cherished them, and Aiden felt the same, even if he kept it to himself. Their rhythm returned, unhurried yet consistent. Pancake Saturdays made their delightful comeback, with flour-dusting noses and laughter resonating throughout the kitchen. As movie nights returned, Lily nestled on one side of the couch, MIA settled in the middle, and Aiden occupied the other side, their fingers lightly grazing over the shared bowl of popcorn. The apartment, previously steeped in quietude, now resonated with the warmth of life once more. The air was infused with the sweet scent of cinnamon and the comforting embrace of warmth, mingling with the vibrant essence of crayons and the joyful echoes of laughter. One evening, after MIA had drifted off, mid-sentence in a bedtime tale, Aiden stepped out to discover Lily on the couch, sifting through a pile of the child's artwork. Today, she created these, Lily remarked, lifting one up. It seems I embody the essence of a remarkable caregiver and educator. Aiden let out a soft laugh and settled next to her, gazing at the image. A stick figure representation of Lily donned a vibrant pink cape, flanked by MIA and Aiden on both sides. She has a point, he remarked, his tone gentle. Lily gazed at the picture for an extended moment, then set it down on the table. I've been contemplating a return to teaching, and Aiden regarded her with sincere astonishment. Are you prepared? I'm afraid, she confessed. Indeed, I believe that's the case. He extended his hand and grasped hers, his thumb gently gliding in soft circles over her knuckles. The classroom has certainly felt your absence, just as we have. She smiled genuinely and leaned into his shoulder. The moment you walked into the bookstore, I was reminded of my former self, or perhaps the essence of who I continue to be. You're so much more than you realize, he whispered. They remained in that stillness for some time, the quiet surrounding them rich, not hollow. Later that week, Aiden extended an invitation to Lily to a place she never saw coming. She paused at the mention of the cemetery, yet agreed without seeking further information. They strolled along the serene, tree-fringed paths until he paused at a humble gravestone. Emily Walker, adored spouse, treasured parent. Lily lingered next to him, sensing the heavy presence of reminiscence surrounding them. Aidan remarked on her kindness, noting her brilliance. She transformed this space into a sanctuary. Her absence made the world feel as though it had been thrown into disarray. He inhaled deeply, the crisp air manifesting as wisps between his utterances. For a long time, I believed that embracing love once more would feel like a betrayal, that by stepping into the future, I would be saying goodbye to her memory. Lily gazed up at him, her eyes soft and warm. Yet you revealed to me that hearts are not tombs. They are capable of embracing multiple loves. They have the potential to expand. They can hold on to memories while embracing fresh experiences. She extended her hand towards him. I could never take her place, Lily murmured gently. I don't want you to, he replied. Embrace your true self wholeheartedly. They knelt and gently set a solitary sunflower next to the headstone. The concept proposed by Lily. Aidan murmured that she would have liked you. I hope so, Lily murmured. As they strolled back to the car, their fingers effortlessly intertwined. It lacked grandeur and drama, yet it held a genuine essence. It was two individuals deciding to embark on a new journey, not from the very beginning, but from the fractured moments they had tenderly repaired side by side. And in that decision, love did not find its revival. It just returned home. The arrival of spring brought gentle mornings and radiant afternoons. And with it arrived a sensation that resembled tranquility. Lily had officially taken on a part-time teaching role at a nearby preschool, just a short walk from Aidan's apartment. She strolled alongside Mia to school, their footsteps in harmony, their laughter resonating through the stillness of the streets. On certain days, Aidan would cross paths with them on their return, a cup of coffee in hand, feigning innocence with his caffeine craving. Yet, the way his gaze lingered on Lily suggested a deeper intention. On a Thursday afternoon, Mia arrived home, gripping a golden certificate firmly in her tiny hand. Look, she radiated, I was the student of the month. Aidan raised her effortlessly, twirling her gently in a graceful arc. That's incredible, darling, Lily stood by, applauding with great enthusiasm. Your kindness towards your friends and your ability to listen so well is truly admirable. Naturally, you were the one they chose. Mia's eyes shimmered with a captivating light. A ceremony is taking place. Are you both going to join us? Aidan declared he wouldn't miss it for anything. On the day of the ceremony, Mia took her place on stage alongside her classmates, facing a modest audience of parents and teachers. She noticed Aidan and Lily nestled together in the front row, and a broad grin spread across her face, making her cheeks swell with delight. Once the applause faded, she dashed towards them, enveloping both in a warm embrace. I'm truly delighted that you're both present, she murmured. Later that evening, following dinner, cupcakes, and a lively dance party in the living room, Aidan gently tucked Mia into bed. With her stuffed bunny held tightly, she murmured, I wish Miss Lily would never leave. He pressed his lips to her forehead, the significance of her words resting softly on his heart. Same here, sweetheart. Upon his return to the living room, he found Lily engaged in folding laundry, a gentle hum escaping her lips. He observed her intently for a prolonged moment before taking a step closer. You've woven yourself into the very fabric of this place, he said. She looked up, her cheeks flushed with a rosy hue. He smiled, hoping that was all right. It's perfectly fine, he paused, then continued. Would you like to join us for dinner this Friday? Just the two of us, no distractions, no screens, simply a genuine meal together. Lily opened her eyes wide. Are you suggesting we go out, Mr. Walker? He wore a sly grin. I'm convinced I am, she smiled. Absolutely, I would be delighted to. As Friday night arrived, Aidan truly surpassed all expectations. He donned a navy button-down, arranged the table with flickering candles, and even attempted to prepare a meal. While Lily skillfully rescued the meal from impending chaos, Mia perched in her special booster seat, proclaimed the pasta to be exquisite, and insisted on raising her cup of apple juice for a toast. With a sense of pride, she declared to us, "Our beloved family." Aidan and Lily shared a look across the dancing candlelight, feeling swelling in the air around them. Once Mia settled into her slumber, Lily ventured onto the balcony, captivated by the refreshing breeze and the twinkling cityscape. Aidan trailed behind. Lily remarked that she is happy. Aidan responded, "She's happy because of you." Lily gave a slight shake of her head. "Is it due to our actions?" Aidan glanced in her direction. "Your transformation has altered everything, Lily. Your presence has revitalized our reality with vibrancy." He delved into his pocket and retrieved a petite velvet box. Lily stood still, her breath caught in her throat. "I'm not asking for forever tonight," Aidan said quickly, unveiling a simple, elegant gold ring adorned with a single diamond. "I urge you to embrace the present moment. To rising in this place. To pancakes. Books scattered across the floor. To everything. Alongside me." Lily's eyes brimmed with tears. "Indeed," she murmured. "Absolutely, without a doubt." A drowsy voice echoed from the hallway. "Pancakes, you say?" They both laughed, and Aidan turned to Lily, gently placing the ring on her finger, his gaze brimming with a profound affection that could have made the stars weep. In that instant, everything was whole. There are no spirits. No room for speculation. Only those individuals. In unison. And plenty more. A year had passed, and sunlight streamed through the trees in a serene garden nestled behind a brick townhouse in Brooklyn. White chairs adorned a slender cobblestone path, petals strewn beneath, laughter softly dancing in the atmosphere. The wedding in the backyard was intimate. Personal. Only a handful of close companions. A few co-workers. And Mia, who had appointed herself as the flower girl, ring bearer, and the ultimate authority on all matters. Lily lingered at the path's end, adorned in a delicate ivory dress, effortlessly elegant and enduring. Her eyes shimmered as she locked gazes with Aidan, positioned beneath a veil of white blossoms, Mia grasping one hand, a bouquet held in the other. As Lily approached, Aidan grasped both of her hands firmly. He said, with a warm voice, "You stumbled into my life by chance. Yet, my affection for you has been the most deliberate choice I've ever made." Lily's voice quivered as she responded. "I never realized that I could discover a sense of belonging in another's embrace. But what about you and Mia? You are the sanctuary I never had the courage to envision." The officiant beamed and proclaimed, "By the authority granted to me, I now declare you husband and wife." Before he could utter another word, Mia exclaimed, "You can kiss her now," and laughter erupted from everyone. And Aidan certainly did. Their kiss was gentle and assured, and Mia scattered petals into the air like a celebration. The ensuing reception was equally straightforward. Folding chairs, twinkling fairy lights, mason jars filled with refreshing lemonade, and a chocolate cake that Mia contributed to with her charmingly imperfect decorations. There were no announcements, no lavish venues, no shining lights. Simply a door. 1 year later, the front window of a delightful corner shop now displayed the Sunflower Library, children's books and community classes. Within the space, Lily positioned herself behind a table, leading a small group of children through an engaging craft session. Colorful crayons tumbled across the surface of the table. Bookshelves filled with tales adorned every wall. In the cozy back room, Aidan captivated a circle of toddlers, who were completely engrossed in every word of The Very Hungry Caterpillar. At his feet sat a small child with tousled dark curls and bright, curious eyes. Theo, nearly 2, possesses Lily's nose and Aidan's inquisitive spirit. Mia sat close by, a self-assured 6-year-old, reading aloud to Theo as soon as his brother wrapped up. She stated with certainty that he would become a passionate reader, just like her. On a Saturday afternoon, a polished black car glided to a stop in front of the store. Out emerged Charles and Margaret Walker, the parents of Aiden. They had maintained their distance during his initial challenges, yet time had eased their stance. Mia dashed toward the door. "Dear Grandma. Grandfather. Are you interested in seeing Theo once more?" They stepped inside, a mix of hesitation and joy on their faces, as Lily gently passed Theo into waiting arms. Aiden's father cradled the boy with a hint of uncertainty, yet Theo, with a playful spirit, reached for his tie and let out a giggle. Something in the old man's expression shattered. He cast his gaze upon his grandson, then lifted it to meet Aiden's eyes. "You've created something remarkable here," he remarked. Aiden gave a slight nod. Assistance was provided. As the evening unfolded and the sun sank behind the brownstones, Aiden found himself seated on the back steps of the shop, with Lily resting against his shoulder, cradling a sleeping Theo in her arms. "Do you recall the evening our paths first crossed?" she inquired. "Are you referring to the situation with the emergency babysitter mix-up?" he playfully taunted. She gently prodded him. "What a whirlwind that was. The most exhilarating turmoil I've ever experienced." They lingered in quietude, observing the flickering dance of fireflies in the garden. Lily whispered, "I once believed family had a specific appearance, but I've come to realize it's simply about love. It has always been just that." Aiden pressed his lips gently to the crown of her head. "This is the kind I never imagined I was worthy of." Theo stirred, and Lily's gentle hum enveloped him, coaxing him back into a peaceful slumber. Mia meticulously organized the books on a shelf marked Staff Picks by Mia Walker. One of the titles was How Families Are Formed. Not through lineage, but through presence, through commitment, through affection, even in challenging times. Under a vibrant sign proclaiming "You belong here," the Walker family, chaotic, boisterous, and beautifully flawed, discovered all they had ever sought, one another. "We appreciate you being a part of this meaningful adventure." Aiden, Lily, Mia, and little Theo showed us that family isn't solely defined by flawless starts, it's about those who decide to remain, to care, and to create something genuine from unforeseen experiences. Occasionally, a misdial can connect you with just the right individual. At times, love arrives unexpectedly, yet it often comes at the very moment we need it the most. If this tale resonated with you, brought a smile to your face, or awakened something profound within, we encourage you to join us at Soul-Stirring Stories. Each week, we present fresh stories of affection, recovery, strength, and the subtle enchantment of human bonds. Press that subscribe button and allow us to continue reaching your heart, one tale at a time.